Hey Flosstube, I'm Teresa Kogut. Welcome to Creative Whims. I want to start out this week by saying thank you because last week I didn't say thank you about anything. I don't know, I just got right into it, and after I was editing the video I thought, gosh, I didn't say thank you. But I wanted to say thank you for all the comments and all the thumbs ups and all the subscriptions, and it's wonderful because if I wasn't getting any action, any response, any reply, then I probably wouldn't continue to do this. So I appreciate it. I also wanted to give a shout out to Teresa at Kitten Stitcher. She did an amazing video. It was the 10 do's and don'ts for Flosstube. Like if you're going to start a Flosstube channel, the 10 do's and don'ts. And it was really, really interesting. I loved it. It was very helpful. I think for veteran Flosstubers, which definitely I'm not, I'm a newbie, or people that are thinking about doing it, there was just some really good information that she shared. So I will have a link in the description box below in case you have not seen her video yet. And I also found out she's going to be in Nashville and giving a talk about that exact thing, about starting a Flosstube channel. So after Nashville, there may be a bunch of new people doing Flosstube, which is so cool. This community just continues to grow, and I think it's really exciting. I'm glad to be a part of it. Oh my goodness, what a week. Well, Monday was Ryan's 21st birthday, and it was such a bummer because Kevin's schedule this week, it got really crazy. He normally works first shift. He gets up at 4:30, leaves the house by 5:30, but he's home, around 4. And I know that sounds like a really long day, which it is, but there's an hour and a half drive to work and an hour and a half drive back from work. Fortunately, he actually rides with somebody, so he's not doing the driving, but still, it's time away from home. Anyways, this week he worked second shift on Monday, then Tuesday he worked first shift, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, second shift. And then tomorrow, Saturday, he has to work first shift. The poor guy it's just kind of crazy. So he didn't get to go out with us Monday night for Ryan's birthday. We just went to a local restaurant, and a couple of his friends were there, and a couple of my friends were there that have known Ryan since he was little. And, we just hung out and had dinner and a few drinks. So tonight, okay, let me back up. Today is Friday, January, I think it's the 25th. Good Lord, I'm not even sure. Friday the 25th? I think that's it. Yep. Anyway, Ryan is having friends over tonight. I don't know where this kid gets this birthday week from, but he's having friends over tonight. And he is... Then we're also going out for his birthday on Sunday because Kyle, his brother, couldn't be there Monday night. His dad couldn't be there Monday night. And his sister couldn't be there. And her husband and Ellery could not be there Monday night. So Sunday we're going out to dinner for his birthday. So this kid's getting like a week-long birthday. Good for him. Yesterday I had our beautiful granddaughter all day, and I hadn't seen her. I have her every Thursday, and the last 2 Thursdays I was out of town. So I have missed her, and I swear she has grown. She is changing by like leaps and bounds every week. So not having her for a couple weeks, I could really see changes in her. And I was afraid she wouldn't want to come to me and stuff. Oh my gosh, we're like best friends. She was so happy to see me. I was so happy to see her. We played all day, and she would crawl to me and snuggle up with me. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like when Ryan, when he got home from work, went to hold her, and she was leaning towards me and crying because she wanted me. I mean, it made me feel so good. Just let me have my moment, right? So yeah, that was amazing. Oh, and tomorrow I'm going to Saginaw, Michigan to Stitch in Time with Colette. She has had models of mine. I can't even remember how long. I want to say it was like October that she's doing a trunk show. And normally trunk shows are for maybe a month or something, but she's had them for that long because I haven't needed them for anything else. But, you know, Nashville's coming and I need my models back. Plus, you know, she's probably like, okay, these need to go. But anyway, she's actually probably not like that because, I mean, whenever you have models in your store, you're bound to sell more of those patterns. But she and I are going to do, well, I don't know that she wants to do an interview. If she wants to, we will, but if she doesn't, that's fine too. But when I told her, I said, don't take the models down, wait till I get there, because I'm going to do a video tour of her shop and show some of my models in the shop, and then I'll help her take them down and pack them up and stuff. And another nice, wonderful surprise is Donna that is stitching, well, she has finished stitching the Rejoice Angel, which is, I must say, the best angel I've designed yet. You know, my first two angels, they're beautiful. I love them. They're smaller, so it's more difficult to get the definition and things in the face. Rejoice is a little bit bigger, and I've had a little bit more experience in charting my angels, so they're getting better as I go. And the color, excuse me, the flesh tone in this angel is amazing. It turned out, and I'm not like bragging or anything, I'm just excited. And whenever I get excited about my work, I really hope no one thinks I'm bragging or full of myself. I love what I do, and I'm passionate about it, and I get excited when I talk about it. But anyway, I get to pick that up from Donna and send it off to be professionally framed. And when I say send it off, I need to find a framer, a professional framer, local, that I can drive this chart to, this cross stitch model to, because I'm not putting it in the mail. Donna's coming from Lansing, driving up to Saginaw to give this to me, and she's never sent anything in the mail. We always meet, she's like an hour away from me, we always meet halfway and like do lunch or something to pick up the model, because she's worried about things being lost in the mail or damaged, and I totally get that, because nobody wants that. But this piece of art is not going to be put in the mail. So I don't know if anybody lives in the Flint area, you know, Grand Blanc. I mean, I would drive to Saginaw. I would drive to Lansing. I would drive about an hour. I'm not driving over an hour though to have this framed. But if anyone knows of any good framers, professional framers, I have to have this one professionally framed because it is stunning. Let's see. I think that's done. I'm done with that part. Okay, last week's pet peeve, my Chinese fortune teller was pet peeve, and my pet peeve kind of turned into a rant. Well, I have a solution. I don't know when this is gonna happen, but I am going to move everything off of my website over to Etsy. And that will solve a lot of issues, One thing it's going to solve is when you buy something from Etsy, you get a notification that the order went through. That's wonderful. Also, when I ship the order, they make it so easy for me to let you know that it shipped, and I can add a tracking number if necessary. Also, there's some states that collect tax now, sales tax, and Etsy will collect it and pay it. I don't have to deal with that. They take care of all of that. What's the other thing? Oh, inventory. I can put inventory in there. So when something sells out, because I've had issues where on my website something would sell out and I wouldn't take it off my website quick enough, and somebody would buy it, then I'd have to reimburse their money, and then they're disappointed because they couldn't get it, and I don't like to disappoint people. So that's awesome. What was the other thing? Oh, there's more. It's just great. So everything eventually is going to be on Etsy. Oh, I know. The other thing is I built all of my websites. I have a lot of websites. I have teresakogut.com, gatherdreamcreate.com, mycreativewhims.com. I used to have createhealthyu.com, but I don't have that anymore. That was like all about health and exercise and things like that. Anyways, I've built all these websites. So they're not the shopping cart is just your basic add to cart with PayPal. And I have lost a ton of money in shipping because, like, for instance, a pattern, just to ship a pattern, I charge $1. It costs about $1.42. You know what I'm saying? It costs more to ship than what I'm charging on my site because it doesn't calculate shipping for, different areas. You can't do priority mail. It's just, it's just going to make my life easier. And then it's going to make the customer happy because they're going to be notified when something is ordered and notified when something is shipped. So there you go. No more ranting because I have a solution. The only problem is I don't know when I'm going to get everything switched over. That's going to take hours of work for me to do that, but we'll get to it. So last week the question was, well, it wasn't really a question, but I asked you to put your favorite recipe title in the comments. Oh my gosh, so many of them sounded absolutely amazing. So how I pick a winner is it'll say at the top you have 55 comments or 91 comments or whatever. This week was 55 comments. I go to random.org and I put in one, it has one, and then you put your N number. So I put 55 and then you hit go or something and it will generate a number for you. And the number was 52. It turned out to be Susan. I'm probably going to butcher your name and I'm so sad if I do. Or I think it's actually Suzanne. Suzanne Cimino, Cimino, Cimino or Camino. You won Cross Stitch 085. Let us know. So in the description box is my email. And if you could please just let me know your mailing address and I'll get that in the mail to you right away. And also I said that I would pick 3 recipes, and if the person is willing, because you put your recipe title in there, I'm assuming that you're willing to email me your recipe, and then I can put it in my description box next week. Okay, well, I picked 3 and it was really hard because there was a lot of really good recipes. They sounded amazing. But I wanted to go with something that I have never made, number one. I mean, I have like a really good chili recipe. I have a really good lasagna recipe. There were some things in there that's, that I already make and I really like my recipe. So I chose some things that would be different. So the first one I picked was NJK. She was talking about how she likes Moroccan food, and she has a recipe for chicken vegetable, I don't know how to say this, tagine, I don't know, Tagine. Anyway, it's Moroccan food, and it's a stew. That sounds awesome, and it is so freaking cold here right now that chili and stew, soups sound so fabulous. So I would love the recipe for that, and then I'll share it next week. Number 2 is Annette Langlois. I'm sorry, I don't know, Annette, I'm so sorry, but it's Langlois. Just the name alone, I was like, I have to know this recipe. Screaming Heads. It's Brussels sprouts. And I don't like the Brussels sprouts if you just steam them and salt and pepper them. But I've had them at restaurants. They're so good if you know how to cook them and you know how to roast them and make them crunchy. And oh gosh, you can make them really good. And Screaming Heads makes me think that they're spicy. So I'm super excited to see that. Number 3, Sherry DeYoung Buttermilk Coffee Cake. Now, Sherry, this is not part of my keto diet, but I wanted to pick 3 different things, like a main dish and a side dish and a dessert. So I chose your buttermilk coffee cake. It just sounds different. It sounds super delicious. I probably won't make it anytime soon because I'm doing keto right now, but if you could please, the 3 of you, email me at teresakogut3@gmail.com your recipes. I will put them in next week's video, okay? Thank you so much. And I wanted to thank C. Myers because she posted her recipe for veggie pizza appetizer. And so if you go to last week's video, which was Flosstube number 8, look in the comments, she put that in there. So that was really nice of her just to go ahead and share her recipe. Appreciate that. Question and answers. Sheila Engel. Where can we look online for your angel figurines? I am going to put a link in the description box below, but Demdeco sells direct to consumer now, so you can go to their website. You could go to demdeco.com and just search Teresa Kogut and my products will come up, but I'll also put a direct link in the description box below. Quilting Queen 3. Do you sell frames like the ones on your previous finishes? So last week I showed some previous finishes that were framed. Here's one, for example. And she wanted to know if I sold these frames. I do not sell these frames. I may. I may eventually. I have a lot of frames over in like that door over there. Oh, you can't even see it actually. But the man door that comes into my finished side of my studio, on the other side of the studio is like a warehouse, and I have a lot of frames from when we had Primitive Folk. I've donated a lot of frames, but I do still have a lot left. But it's just one of those things of, you know, I gotta dig them out, I have to photograph them, I have to list them on Etsy, and then when they sell I have to ship them. So it's just more work for me, and right now I have no time for that at all. And then Tammy Whaley, she asked something similar. She said the frames on the previous finishes from Flosstube number 8, where do you get the frames from? Well, that was so many years ago. We got them from a couple different places, actually 3 different places, and I don't even know if they're in business anymore. I mean, we're talking probably 15 years ago. So I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. But if you go to Etsy and search for frames, there's a lot of people that sell frames on there. So you should have no problem actually finding frames that way. I was way more prepared this week, you guys. So you might miss me sitting here going, what am I gonna do? But I wanted to be organized this week. So I already thought of a question, but before I ask the question, I have to show you some things. I mentioned last week about early American folk art. I can't even remember what I was talking about, to be honest with you, but I'm going to show you some of my, I mentioned something about, in my sketchbook, I have a ton of early American folk art sketches, which I do, like, so many. And I love them. I love them so much. But as far as like marketing my art or licensing my artwork, there's not a huge market for that kind of art. So I don't paint it a lot anymore. I started painting, when I first started painting in acrylic, probably 10, 12 years ago, I started with early American folk art. And then I gravitated into my angels, and the early American folk art kind of fell to the wayside because it wasn't licensing for me, and I was really into the angels at that point. and I quit painting. All right, so now I know it's been a half an hour because my camera shut off. But I'm just going to show you some, like this is a print on wood. I'm going to show you some early American folk art that I have done. And my question this week is, do you want to see early American folk art cross stitch and punch needle? This says Liberty. When it begins to take root is a plant of rapid growth. And I actually think I named this one Rapid Growth instead of Liberty. All right, so that's a print on wood. Where am I going to set it? Let's put it right there. If you forgive the faults of others, your heavenly Father will forgive yours. Matthew 6:14. I love this one. Little angels. This love. And I have one, a couple down here. And these are actually the originals. This one's on canvas. This says, diligence is the mother of good luck. And that is a quote by Benjamin Franklin. And this one, since her beginning, America has held fast to the hope of divine providence, this vision of man with God. That's a Ronald Reagan quote, and this is actually on an antique breadboard. So it's like, I don't know if you can really see it, but there's a man and a woman, and there's like a flag behind them, and then the quote is here in the center. And I didn't want the words to show up like, you know what, if I turn this light down a little bit, I think you'll be able to see it better. Whoa. There we go. So those are originals, and I got a couple prints here. This original of this one I have hanging in my studio, and it's pretty big. It's like a 20 by 24, but it says, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Leviticus 19:18, I think. I don't have my glasses on, sorry. Here's another one. Actually, I did this one in punch needle. I don't know if I have it available anymore. And then this one, oh my gosh, I love this one. This one, I have the original hanging in my house, and it's painted on an old antique breadboard. It says, common looking people are the best in the world. That is the reason the Lord makes so many of them. A quote by Abraham Lincoln. Is that not awesome? I love Abraham Lincoln, and he's got the best quotes. So it's just a man and a woman. So anyway, that's my question this week. If you want to get in on the drawing, my question is, do you want to see some of those and more early American folk art style paintings in cross stitch and punch needle? That is the question. And then the prize, or the giveaway, I should say, is PN173 Prim Spring Bunny. All right, giveaway's done. Diet tip, just real quick. I'm not probably going to continue with a lot of the diet tips, but because I found somebody that I want y'all, if you're interested in more information about keto and that kind of thing, I found Dr. Ken Berry. He has a YouTube channel, and he explains keto. He has a lot of really good health tips, and I found a video of his about magnesium. I started taking magnesium when I was doing keto because I was getting leg cramps. And he explains it really well, so I'm not going to go into it. I'm going to put a link in the description box below to his channel, but also a link directly to the video where he talks about magnesium. I know there were 3 reasons I took magnesium, but he gives like a ton of reasons. There were things that magnesium does for us that I had no idea. But I started taking, because I was getting leg cramps, and it has to do something with the salt. Because when you do keto, you're getting rid of a lot of fluid in your body because you're not eating grains and starches and sugar and things that retain water. And when you got rid of all that water, it took a lot of the salt away. And I think that's what it was. You get leg cramps. Anyways, I was getting leg cramps. And so I started taking magnesium. And I knew that it helped with sleep. And the other thing is it helps to keep you regular. Not that I have a problem with that. I'm very blessed. I'm very regular, in case you were wondering. But for some people, I know that's a really big deal. So magnesium, and like I said, I'll put a link below so that you can check him out because he has a lot of good information. One thing that he said, though, is that with the keto diet, that you know, you don't have to watch your calories because the healthy fats that you're eating will keep you so full that you don't have to count calories. I don't know. For me, the only way I've been able to lose weight is to count calories. And then once I get to where I want to be, then I don't have to count calories anymore. So it's just my initial losing a few pounds, and then I'm free. To just, you know, still eat healthy. I still want to, you know, eat a kind of a keto diet or whatever, but not count the calories because like I said last week, it gets old. All right, past finishes. 150, Let Freedom Ring. Oh God, I'm gonna turn this light down again. It's so dark in my studio. I wish I would do this earlier in the day when it was sunny in here, and then I wouldn't have to use such a bright light. 336. Honey and Wool Farm. I love this one. I love sheep. I love beehives, bee skeps, and bees, and just that cool house back there. Love that. Love the little primitive girl. That's one of my favorites, and I like the shape of it too. This one, A Glad Heart. I gave this pattern away, this chart away, and so you've seen the chart, but you know, you gotta see it stitched. I really don't have any haul other than like a major purchase. I've told you before that we do everything in-house. We print our covers and cut them and everything. Well, the printer that I have is, I'm trying to think how old it is. It still works great. Don't get me wrong. And we're not getting rid of it. But I wanted to have, like, it's going to be my backup printer now, and I bought a new one. It's going to be awesome, but there's going to be a learning curve. It was delivered like right before we left on vacation. It was delivered. Delivered by my husband. We bought it at this place like an hour away from us, and so after work, him and his work supervisor, manager, whatever you want to call. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, him and Jim went and picked it up, and it is like in pieces all around the studio. And I mean, as if my studio wasn't a mess enough, now I've got these pieces of this printer. They couldn't even bring the box in. It was like on a pallet. They had to cut it off the pallet and bring it in pieces. I don't even have a place for it to be set up right now. Lord help me. Then the other, really, I've spent a lot of money this year, the end of last year and the beginning of this year, but I'm buying a new iMac Pro for down here because, again, that computer sitting over there is starting to have a little bit of, you know, some issues, and I can't be without a computer. I can't be without that big printer. So, you know, I decided that it's better to have those things, and I have an iMac. I don't know if it's an iMac Pro, but I have an iMac over there now, and I've had it 6 or 7 years, and it's starting to bog down. It's starting to do some things, like if I have too many things open and running at the same time, I have issues, then I have to shut it down and restart it. So anyway, I'm getting a new computer. I have that new printer, and we are going to be just slamming them out for Nashville as soon as I get all this stuff up and running. But I mean, in the meantime, I can use what I have. But So I guess I do have a haul. It's nothing I can show, but it's pretty exciting anyways. So that's it for my needle arts business. I'm going to move on now to my art business. So I started my commission paintings just today. I finally took the time and I have them drawn out. I will show them to you. I don't really know how well you're going to be able to see them. I wonder if I move this. Let me see here. Because I got to get back far enough so you can see. Maybe if I do that. Okay, now you can kind of see them. I have them drawn on there now in black. So I can't tell if you can see that or not at this point, but I have them drawn on there, and that was a huge part of it. To me, that's the hardest part is getting that drawn on, because now it's just painting. It's the fun part. So there's one, and then here's the other one. And I think their faces are beautiful. Anyways, so I have them drawn on there. Like I said earlier, Ryan is having friends over. And I plan on, because they're going to be like playing music and they're going to be really loud. So I'm thinking, oh my Lord, I'm trying to move this back over to where I was. So I'm probably going to come back down here and paint on these while he has his friends over, because now my thing is really crooked. All right, we got it all straightened out now. I have an art tip that I want to share. It's about organizing your paintings. If you are just beginning your art career, this will save your life. Okay, it won't save your life, but it will save you a lot of anxiety and frustration. When I started my licensing business, I had to have everything itemized. So when I did a painting, I numbered it. And then I had a number and a title, the size, and eventually what CD it was on. That way I could find the artwork, because I would get my paintings scanned and I would get a CD back from the scanner. I mean, I used to send it out to California and spend all this money getting my stuff scanned. I scan everything now, and like big paintings like that, I take to a photographer in town, and then he puts it on a flash drive and I download it to my computer, and now I store most of them on external hard drives. But anyways, however you're going to store your artwork digitally, make sure, I think external hard drive is a great way to go, because a lot of the CDs that I have, I shouldn't say a lot, but some of them won't open anymore. Yeah, that's not cool. But have it on an external hard drive that is just dedicated to storing your art. Don't have it on an external hard drive that's constantly plugged in and you're constantly pulling from and using it. You know what I mean? Because those can go bad too. And then boom, you're done. So and then number those. So have your external hard drives numbered and store them all together, and that way you can locate your artwork that way. Okay? But I have a lot of them on CDs because it was back in the day, because you know I'm old. I listened to a podcast about a month or two ago. I can't remember even who it was talking about it, but it was an interview with an artist. And she isn't an artist like me where she licenses her work and whatnot. She is a fine artist, and she has her work in galleries, and she does, shows, and she sells original artwork. That's how she makes her living, is just selling her original artwork. And she gave the most amazing advice that I wish I would have had mine done that way. So this is what I think you should do. And I have this little spreadsheet. And so I'll see if I can attach this or something in the description box below. But anyway, so have a spreadsheet, and then in your columns have the date it was created, the image number, and just, you know, chronological order, and then the title of the artwork, and then the medium, like maybe it's a cross stitch, you know, maybe one's a cross stitch, maybe one is an acrylic painting, one is a watercolor, just whatever it is. It could be a mixed media painting, it could be a sculpture, you know, all of it, whatever you create, have it in here, but, you know, have what it actually is made of. And then the size, the measurements of the painting or the sculpture or whatever it is. And then painted for. Now that's mostly if you're into licensing, because some paintings are created specifically for a licensee and may never be used by anyone else. So it's always nice to know who you're painting it for. Then the date that the original sold. So that will cover, that should be on there whether you license your artwork or whatever, because eventually you're going to sell originals because you just run out of room to store them. So the date that the original sold, who it sold to, so their name, and then their phone number, their address, their email. And then right here, another column that says direct or gallery. So then you can put direct, or if you sold it through a gallery, you could put the name of the gallery, and then the price that it sold for. And the reason I think it's really important to have the price that it sold for is because number one, you have proof of the value of your work. And as you grow as an artist, you should, I learned this in another podcast, and again, I don't remember who. I listen to podcasts a lot. I listen to more Flosstube than podcasts now, but podcasts are great too. And this artist was talking about how you should raise the price of your originals. I forget what percentage he said. I want to say he said 10 to 15% every year. And it could be you raise it 100%. You never know. Like if something goes viral and there's a huge demand for your art all of a sudden, you can raise your price way more than just 10 or 15%. But it's supply and demand. Like I sold 3 originals while I was on vacation last week. I mean, I was like freaking out. It was, yeah, to me, as an artist, let me just say, selling an original painting is to me the most flattering thing. It's the most humbling. It makes my heart leap a little bit, because someone is investing their hard-earned money. I mean, originals are expensive. Their hard-earned money into your artwork. And then they're gonna take that art and display it proudly in their home, because they're spending this money and it's not gonna be put in a corner. You know what I mean? And it can be handed down to their family. Hopefully they let their kids know and their grandkids know the value of the painting or whatever. And it can be handed down. And I don't know. For me as an artist, when someone purchases an original, I just jump for joy. Thank you, Jesus. So I hope that art tip helps anyone watching this that is an artist and, you know, just getting started and wondering, you know, how do I keep track and where everything's at. Hopefully that will help. I think that's all I have this week. No, that's not all I have. I had notes. I don't know where it went, but the Chinese, where did I put that? That's so weird. Huh. Anyway, the Chinese fortune teller, anyway, well, she's 65, Clement, she chose green 4-2. Now, another thing that I have done to be more organized is, here I said I was organized with these little pieces of paper. And I still forgot to do my Chinese fortune teller. You know, when I come up with something and I have to tell a story and I go, oh God, what kind of story can I tell? Well, what I started to do is I have a list of different ideas. So for pet peeves, I have a list of pet peeves, and from now on I can just pick one of those. I have a list of funny stories from my business. I have a list of funny personal stories. You know, I have, so now when I come up with this, I have a list of things to choose from. So there you go. So green 4-2. I need a drink of water. I am just dying here. All right, ready? Green 4-2. And oh, by the way, I'm gonna make a nicer one because I didn't know how to make this. And this one is got scribbles on it. I was talking about this thing and I'm going to remake it and I'm going to make it more artsy because this just looks horrible. But anyway, so green 4-2, right? Yeah. So here we go. G-R-E-E-N 1, 2, 3, 4. And I gotta pick number 2, which is this one right here. A business story. An interesting business story. Okay, I have my list here. I'm going to pick a business story. So I'm going to pause it right now. Okay, I have this story that is actually one of my favorite stories about my business. Years ago, I used to work with a company called Books Are Fun. Books Are Fun, they're still in business, but it's kind of a long story, but they have different owners, and the person that I used to work closely with, she doesn't work there anymore because when they were sold, I think she might have left before then. Anyway, her name was Renee, and we got along splendidly. She reminded me of my Aunt Jeanette that lives in Virginia. She has the same kind of like voice and mannerisms and stuff. But anyway, her and I, she's been to my studio a few times where we did some planning and stuff, but we had, I have this painting called Old Friend, and I will show it here while I'm talking. This painting started this huge mountain of a story. She loved this painting, and she loved the thought of this old tattered teddy bear, and it's an old friend. And you know how children love their teddy bears and they grow up with them. And anyway, so there was this like whole story that, you know, we developed. But the first thing that we did was I designed a fleece blanket called Old Friend. And Books Are Fun. Books Are Fun, let me explain the business because it's different. What they do is they go into corporations, schools, I don't know. There's like 3 different things. Oh, maybe it was churches. I don't know. But they will go into a school and they will set up maybe in the teacher's lounge or something. It's for the teachers and the staff at the school. And in corporations, they would probably set up in a meeting room or something. And then the people that work there could go in and shop. So they'd set up this display of a bunch of products. Now, these products, Books Are Fun, their turnover was like, I want to say every 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks, they would go in and set up these tables with these products on them. People would come in and place orders, and then they would come back and deliver the orders. Okay, so that's how that business worked. It was a huge business. I mean, it is a huge business. I don't know if it's as big as it was, but this was, oh God, I'm trying to think how many years ago this was. I'll have to look it up and insert it so you can see. But it's been a long time. So we developed this Old Friend fleece blanket, and they used it as a promotion. So if you spent, I don't know how much they had to spend. I want to say they had to spend like $25 and they could get that blanket for $5. Well, people wanted the blanket so bad that they spent whatever the amount was. I think it was $25. It might have been more. I don't know. They spent whatever they had to spend to get that blanket they spend double it to get 2 blankets. That's how bad people wanted this blanket. It was absolutely incredible. So books are fun. Their sales just went bananas because of this promotion. And I'll have to show you, but I won an award because of, you know, I forget what the award was. Let me go get it. Oh my gosh, you guys, this makes me want to cry. Ugh, it's kind of dusty. I have it hanging down here in my studio. Anyways, Books Are Fun Vendor of the Year, and it's got on this little plaque down here. It says Teresa Kogut, our old friend, 2004. So like, that's a lifetime ago, it seems like. And I think it has a light. I'm sure the light doesn't work because I never light it up. But anyway, it has a little light switch on the back. But it has a star where it says Vendor of the Year, and then the plaque at the bottom. So anyway, 2004, this is when this took place. So I had to do this interview at their sales. They have like a sales convention every year, and public speaking freaks me out. This is not my thing. But it went really, really well because the person that was interviewing me, they made it like it was a talk show. So I didn't have to get up on a podium and just talk off the cuff. It was like an interview, and it was awesome. He made me feel so relaxed, and it was in front of thousands of sales reps. It was incredible. People from all over the country, and it was awesome. Anyway, so because that fleece blanket sold so well, they made this stuffed bear. Isn't that adorable? It's so cute. It's just so cute. I have a couple of them. I obviously saved a couple of them because, you know, it's so cute. But I mean, it was that was my most accomplished licensing I've ever done. And then we developed a book, Always There For You. And I illustrated it, and it was written by Sasha Quinton. And then I illustrated the book. You can't find it anymore because I have been searching. I bought 3 just not too long ago because I'm always searching for them, because it's out of print, obviously, and I have grandkids, and I want all my grandkids to have one. But I'm just gonna read it to you real quick because you're not gonna be able to find it, and I wanted to show you the pages and stuff. I'm gonna turn my light down so you can see better. Ow. I wish Debbie from Snug Harbor Crafts was here so she could read it because she's so good at reading children's books. So anyway, here's the cover. This is not working. Well, anyway, that's better. Always There For You. I'm going to stand up and read it to you. This is the inside cover. This is all done with watercolor. From the first day of the year, I'll be there for you. Wait. Okay, Debbie, I need you. From the first day of every year, I'll be there to hold you dear. That's the illustration. And so, as you can see, I illustrated the bear to look like the real stuffed bear. And whether in rain, sun, or snow, I will always love you so. Oh my Lord. There we go. Now you can see it. Got a little umbrella. I'll be there through springtime showers for butterflies and blooming flowers. For baby birds and flying kites, for growing grass and starry nights. I'll be there through summer's sun, for picnics, parks, and seaside fun. For county fairs and ice cream cones, for camping, bikes, and skipping stones. That's my hand I was saying. Oh, there is a bird. I was covering up with my hand. I'm like trying to show you the little bird, and my hand was covering it. I'll be there through autumn's breeze, for harvest time and changing trees. I really can read, you guys. Just not sound like it. For cider, syrup, and apple pies, for falling leaves and wind-blown skies. I love that they're in a hammock. I've always wanted a hammock. I'll be there through winter's snow, for sleds and skates and hot cocoa. This page is kind of ripped. This is one that I just recently bought, but I'm like, I don't care if the page is ripped. I want it. For chilly days and cozy nights, and for stories shared by firelight. I love that illustration. That was a more intense illustration, as you can see. Look at they're drying their mittens and hats. So cute. And as the year draws to an end, you'll know you have a dear old friend. Who'll always be right there for you no matter what we weather through. So anyways, so there's the back of it, a little plaid and back it up. So we did the book. Let me get the light going here. So we did the stuffed animal or the stuffed bear, and then we did, let's keep them right here. And then we did the book, and then that went so well. They did this little set with the little mini bear and a little mini book. And I think the book is all, yeah, it's all the same images, but it's the hard, a little chunky book with the hard pages. Oh my gosh. Anyways, this is my old friend story, y'all, and I just, oh, so cute, so stinking cute. And I don't know if you noticed, but on his little shirt it says old friend. And he's got like patches, and it says old friend right there. Oh my goodness, it's just adorable. I just wanted to share that with you guys. So, so there's my business story this week for you. That's it. That's all I have. And I will see you next week. Next week's going to be amazing because, like I said, I'm going to Cross Stitch Shop. Colette's up. It's not called Colette's. It's Stitch in Time, but Colette is her name. Her and her husband are awesome, so I'm hoping that they'll talk a little bit on the camera. And so that will be part of next week's video. I'm hoping to have these commission paintings probably not done, but well into it, because I'm taking Tuesday to go in the other direction in Michigan, going south for about an hour and a half to the Vitrine Gift and Gallery, where I have my original paintings. They've been on display there since October, and I'm going to pick those up, the ones that are left. So a busy week, busy. Anyway, have a great week, and don't forget, please don't forget to comment below if you want to be in on the giveaway. Even if you don't want to be in on the giveaway, I just need your opinion. I want to know, do you want me to do early American folk art for cross stitch and punch needle? Don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell so you'll be notified when I have a new video. Thank you for that ahead of time. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. I don't care. Either way, that way I know you watched it. And what else? You can follow me on Instagram at Teresa Kogut. You can join my Facebook page, which if I go live, if I paint tonight, I might go live. I don't know, but I would like to go live a little bit on my Facebook page showing, you know, me painting these commission paintings. So that's just facebook.com/Teresa Kogut. You can like my page, and also I think you get notifications if I go live that way. But anyways, again, thank you so much for being here. Bye now.